everyone, and welcome to Continental Cablevision's coverage of the 1993 Columbus Day Parade. I'm Maureen Hayes, one of your hosts, joined by sportscaster Al DiTullio.
Thank you, Maureen.
And we are here on the reviewing stand in front of St. Anthony's Church on Revere Street. The route of the parade this year is, as usual, it starts at the Chelsea end of Broadway, comes down Broadway, around the corner to Revere Street, past the reviewing stand here, and ends up at the Paul Revere School. And Mother Nature has blessed us with a beautiful day today. We've got clear skies, bright, crisp autumn air, and I'm sure everyone will enjoy that, Al.
That's right, Maureen. You couldn't have asked for a better day as far as the weather. A lot of people are out enjoying the parade right now. It's going to be a great parade. Before we even get to the parade, we want to thank some folks. We want to thank Mayor Robert J. Hass and his assistant, Paul Cacciolo, who did a great job of pulling this parade together. And I know you wanted to thank someone also.
Right. I wanted to thank Elaine, the mayor's assistant, for helping me get the list organized. I know she made a lot of calls. And it's also a big parade, 2 hours long, Al.
That's right. And we should point out there'll be 5 divisions in this parade, 55 different organizations participating in the parade.
Right. And make sure you stay tuned for the whole 2 hours, because there's a surprise musical treat in the very last division, an internationally known musical group, so stay tuned for that.
Right. So sit tight, stay with us.
Okay, and we're getting ready for the parade to begin. You can see a police car there coming down the street. We're located in front of St. Anthony's Church at the reviewing stand, which they're nice enough to put up here every year. And hopefully all the groups will stop by out front and do a little special act for us so you can see them close up and hear them. And Al, once again, the weather is beautiful today. It couldn't be much under 50 degrees.
It's really beautiful out here. It's great to see the people of Revere coming out to see the Christopher Columbus Parade.
That's right. And Paul Cacciolo, the chairman of the parade, was telling us he's never seen crowds so large. He wanted a mobile camera to go down on Broadway and see how big the crowds were, because he just couldn't believe it himself. And that'll be a real treat. It's nice that everyone comes out, and Revere should be happy that their parade, local Revere parade, is really one of the largest and one of the best. They can always count on that, and it's my favorite event to cover.
Certainly is mine, too. In the last couple of years, I've really enjoyed doing the parade. But, you know, the credit goes to, as we touched on in the opening, goes to the mayor's staff, who does a great job every year of putting this parade together.
Over 55 different groups in today's parade. That's a lot of organizing, a lot of phone calls, and it just shows the clout kind of the parade carries to get such big, well-known high school bands that we'll be talking about as they come by. A lot of interesting people I met calling around to find out information about the parade, and there's really a story, Al, behind every group that goes by. There's a story. These people are characters. They're just full of pep, and it's really a treat.
I think to participate in parades year in and year out, you really have to love doing it. And certainly these people that are participating here in today's parade have to really love what they do.
Right. You can see the balloons, the vendors. You can hear the sirens. Here they come. And I noticed a lot of the shaving cream is out again, and that's maybe the faux pas, the thing that shouldn't be at the parade, but it is. You see the Colgate cans and the shaving cream still popping out here and there, but for the most part, we have the balloon vendors, the bright, cheery colors there. And we should see this most famous person in the parade here, escorted by the police. And it is the man who sailed the ocean blue in what year, Al?
1492.
That's right. And you know where that rhyme comes from. It's Christopher Columbus. Or in the movie they say Columbo.
Actually, he's looking a lot like Revere's own Hugo Rizzuto, owner of Jet Printing.
Right, Hugo Rizzuto, owner of Jet Printing. But it's really not him. It just looks like him. It's Christopher Columbus.
And the color guard is from the Matola Post also.
Got some Revere police there carrying their flag, escorting Christopher Columbus, keeping him safe. And we've got the Dartmouth High School Band here, and they are led by Mr. Gilbert Madrigal. And Al, there's 115 members, and these kids are nationally known. They're award winners 3 years in a row of a Queen's Cup trophy. Dartmouth High School. And Al, these kids are really competitors. They're very well known, and they start in the 3rd grade to do this. It's a feeder program, so by the time they get to high school, they can keep that trophy at Dartmouth High.
They really do an outstanding job. I know a little bit about them, and they do outstanding work. Their leader does so much work getting these kids prepared, getting these kids into it. And also, an interesting note to them is very quickly is that they get better grades during September and November when it's band season.
Because they practice time management, even though they practice so much, and hear the beautiful sounds they make. Pass us by there, I want you to know that the drums you heard there, they scored a perfect 10 in a competition for percussion for the drums there, so listen to those drums very keenly.
Based on what we've seen, that's why they are considered one of the best bands in the state and the country.
Now we've got the Knights of Columbus here, and you can see them with their plumes and their costumes there in the front walking along, and that's a treat to get in their dressy costumes there. The Knights of Columbus, they're located on Winthrop Ave in Revere. They were founded in 1897. The Grand Knight this year is Frank Murphy, and they have 250 members.
And just to add one other quick note, the Knights are a fraternal organization based on charity, fraternity, and patriotism.
Right, and they're a big group in Revere, and they are proud to lead that parade as the Knights of Columbus in the Columbus Day Parade. Now we've got the Revere Police Department coming up, and you can just see that line. They are out in full force, led by a brand new chief, Chief Russo, newly appointed when Harold Fulton retired. And that was just a week ago, Al, and the chief has got the full throng of that department behind him. Really quite a lot of men, a big turnout, and that's something to really be proud of.
Well, that just shows respect for the new chief, showing that they're in full support of him.
And their new $200,000 community policing grant maybe perked him up a little. Now we've got the fire department. Chief Arthur Anderson going by there of the Revere Fire Department. And they have a good showing as well, and it's always nice to see them in their dressy uniforms on a good note instead of a bad note like you might see the fire department, but they're always helpful.
And coming into view right now is His Honor Robert J. Hess.
It's the mayor and his wife Juanita riding in the car there because, as you know, the mayor was injured in a softball game. He's been on crutches, so he's riding instead of walking. I'm sure he'd like to be walking, shaking hands. We've got State Rep Robert DeLeo, State Senator Tom Birmingham, members of the City Council and the school committee. It's election year, and they're all here, and they're all eager to shake some hands and give a wave and a smile and take advantage of touching probably as many voters as you can get together in one spot, Al.
Also coming into view is Al Fiore.
Okay. And we've got, I believe it is the Buccaneers here coming up. Buccaneers Drum and Bugle Corps. Once again, here you're watching the Buccaneers Drum and Bugle Corps on Revere Street. Okay, passing by there were the Buccaneers Drum and Bugle Chorale, and it was interesting to see the look of concentration on some of the young faces there. If you can really see a close-up, they are really, really paying keen attention to what they're doing there, Al, taking it very seriously.
And the crowd really appreciated them and gave them a nice round of applause.
We've got the St. Patrick's Color Guard along here, and I spoke to Jerry Nye, their manager, the other day, and they are 50 years in existence. Of course, not these little folks here, but the group in general. And they practice 8 to 10 hours a week and do a lot of parades and win competitions.
Well,
they're
that's
world champions. He told me they've won a world championship in Dayton, Ohio, Al. So you're looking at world champs for this, what they call the Winter Color Guard.
And their ages range from 7 to 22.
And if you're interested in seeing the kind of competitions that color guards do, they have an indoor competition coming up in January at Salem High School. And these kids practice, like I said, 8 to 10 hours, and they really take it seriously. So it's nice to see, and it's nice to maybe get a chance to go to those competitions and see what they can really do indoors. Of course, they're out in parades now, but they are an indoor color guard.
And coming into view right now is the 10th Massachusetts Volunteer Regiment. Their director is Mr. Tom Hogan.
And I think we missed mentioning the Ninja Turtle that went by there, and I guess what would a parade be without a Ninja Turtle, Al?
Certainly.
The 10th Massachusetts Regiment Volunteers. You can see there we've got some of the
traditional uniforms.
Right, and the dresses there on the women were pretty up the front, the old uniforms. Now this is great to really see the uniforms here, and we can think about the movie out now and Gettysburg and kind of rev everyone up for this kind of look back in history here as we see the group go by. Maybe drum up some interest for that movie, Al.
Absolutely.
No pun intended as we hear the drums there. Nice patriotic tune here. Rev up the crowd, and the crowd is very large. And who wouldn't want to be out on a nice day? Sure. Who wouldn't want to be out on a beautiful day like today? It's really not chilly at all. It's very, very nice. It's colorful, and we're expecting a lot more to come here. Like we said, it should take about 2 hours for the whole parade to go by, and they space it out. That also takes a lot of pre-planning to make sure everyone comes at just the right time. And
well, that falls under the direction of Paul Cacciolo, who does a great job of putting all the divisions together, spacing them out so that each one is not tumbling on top of the other one.
Right.
Maureen.
It's a treat for us. We have time to tell you a little bit about each group because, like I said, there is a story behind each group, and it's nice to be able to hear that story. Now, Al, we met the manager of this group earlier, the Greater Boston Bagpipe Band, and they've just won a competition in September.
Yep. So we're seeing some award-winning bands here thus far in the parade, Maureen.
First place they took in a Northeast regional competition in Schenectady, New York. And they've been playing those bagpipes since 1983 and competing in several parades. This Revere Parade is their last for the Greater Boston Bagpipe Band.
And they'll be picking it up again in March for the St. Patrick's Day Parade.
You know what, Al? I noticed we didn't see the Gold Star Mother car yet, and I'm hoping it's coming along, but it was listed in that division, but we haven't seen it, like I said. And the last Gold Star Mother in Revere is Lucy Bagnulo, who is age 102 this year. So
God love her.
If she couldn't make it, our hearts certainly, go out to her and the sacrifice she made, and we hope she's coming along. Okay. Once again, we're up here on the reviewing stand, which is in front of St. Anthony's Church in Revere, and they do have a wonderful statue of Christopher Columbus, I believe, in front of the church. And we have the real Columbus up here on the reviewing stand, so take your pick. Do you want him in live, or do you want him in marble? You've got him both at St. Anthony's. Christopher Columbus, Hugo Rizzuto. It's a chance of a lifetime, I think, to get in that costume and march in the Revere Columbus Day Parade. What an honor.
Certainly is.
And as you can see, the crowd there is packed in up on the reviewing stand in front of St. Anthony's, and it's nice that we are located here, and a lot of groups will stop and do a number or a dance if it's a dance troupe, and it's a really great location.
And it's also a treat for the viewers at home because they can see the individual groups performing, especially the dance
There we've got
groups.
the statue there, Al, we were talking about, with one hand to the world and one hand to God. And I know that from Father Menner at St. Anthony's Church because he was nice enough to always point out that statue to us. And it really is a beautiful statue and a beautiful church.
Yep.
And we heard some good news about Father Menner, too.
We certainly did. He'll be promoted to Monsignor for this area. Congratulations to Father Menner.
Right. Always a friend to us and always helpful with the parade and the different masses for Christmas and Easter, and lets our cable viewers have a treat if they have to be shut in on those holidays. And as with this parade today, once again, we can bring it to anyone who missed it today. Or you can relive it if you were here and look for yourself on the side of the road.
Some of the dignitaries, some of the local officials coming on to the reviewing stand right now.
Okay, and everyone's getting a chance to take a pause now to enjoy a little family time. Because, Al, you know what this parade is really about also is getting the families out and giving them time to be together, because you're sitting here, you're not in watching TV, you're not off doing your own separate things, you're with your kids, and you can see a lot of the people we point out, the kids are jumping on their parents and having a lot of fun.
Well, I think it's a special treat for the younger kids because they get to see so many colorful events. They get to see some really great bands. It's a time for them to reflect with their parents about what Columbus Day is really all about.
You don't have to drive to Boston.
That's
Al.
true.
That's the best part about
That's right.
it. You don't have to
No parking problems.
hit the Tobin Bridge or any of that. You stay right here in Revere, take a walk down the street, stand on the sidewalk, and you have the parade come to you.
And Revere always has the best parade.
It does. You notice, Al, a lot of the balloons are Barney balloons.
A very
this
popular
year.
character.
So I guess it goes with the trend of the times. We have Ninja Turtles fading and Barney taking over. And I can hear some music, Al, so I know something's coming down the street. Maybe they all got stuck in traffic like the rest of us.
I know we had a heck of a time getting over here this morning. We got
did.
stuck in traffic.
The roads start backing up, and you know why. It's the parade is coming. Well, I can see the Italian flag from here.
Coming into view now is the Sons of Italy.
Sons of Italy Drum and Bugle of Haverhill, Massachusetts.
Their business manager is Bill Brigham. They're a 53-year-old group. They've been marching in Revere for about 40 years.
And Mr. Brigham told us they're the only Sons of Italy marching corps in the country, so we're getting a real treat. And they travel all throughout New England, 50 to 60 active members. And they usually stop and rev up the crowd with a good old Italian song.
Now, how do you pronounce that, Marie?
E compare.
Very good, Maureen.
And I don't know if I did that very well, but I gave it a shot, and that's what counts.
Translation, which means, hey, buddy, or Godfather. It's a patriotic song.
That's right.
Look what came in, Maureen.
Hi there.
Who came in? Oh, wait a minute.
Once again, you're watching the Sons of Italy Drum and Bugle Corps out here.
And the marches range from 11 to 70 years old.
Okay, Al, that was the Sons of Italy Drum and Bugle Corps you saw going by there, and we try not to talk over the music like the radio stations say, but don't hold me to it, because you know as well as I do that we probably already have. But we'll try not to.
And the reviewing stand that we're standing on is filling up with local politicians.
Right. Now, do we have the St. Teresa's drill team sneaking by here?
Yes, we do.
We've got another Ninja Turtle there.
Actually,
Al,
a couple of them.
we're going to have to start reviewing the costumes, the outfits, the uniforms, whatever you want to call them, ourselves this year, because I know we always enjoy that, and they're colorful and they're beautiful. Can get chilly too for the kids out there in the skirts and whatnot. Okay, now we have the Domino's Pizza Man going by there, throwing out. It's not pizza, Al, they're throwing. It's
painter's
complimentary mugs.
And also painter's caps were being thrown out too.
Okay. And
And
there's the Noid. They told me he wasn't going to be here anymore for Domino's, but he is. He's back there on the back of that truck. Domino's has been great since they've been in Revere, and you know, always giving out things to people, and they're tossing out mugs and coupons and
Painter's caps and
oh,
whatnot.
now we've got the Wing Civil Patrol, and this is a very interesting group. They just marched by there, and Al, they were formed in 1991 by Congress. Here's your trivia: as a voluntary civilian auxiliary to the U.S. Air Force to protect the coastline while the Air Force men were engaged in fighting. And they still have 22 squadrons in Massachusetts, and people of all ages can participate and learn flight instruction and things like that right at the Beverly Airport.
And just one side note, they are led by Deputy Commander Larry Dunn, who oversees the cadets ranging from 13 to 21, as you said, Maureen, at the Beverly Airport.
Right, and I thought that was a great group, Al, to learn flight instruction and whatnot for the youth, and just an amazing group helping out with search and rescue. Oh, I can see Max Masau up there. I know we've got some veterans of foreign wars up there, Al.
Yep.
And right now I think we're showing a unique participant there in the truck with them, but that's a big part of this parade, is having the veterans groups come along. And as I said, we saw Max Masau up there waving to the crowd, and he's a well-known figure in this community. In his 80s and still serving the city. But as I said, Al, sometimes they march by so quickly you don't have time to tell their story, and you wish they could, because, like I said, the Wing Patrol there was a great group and had a lot of interesting information to tell us about themselves. And I hope maybe they drum up a little new membership as they go along and wave to the crowd and talk to the crowd.
I think that's also why a lot of these groups participate. They're always looking for new members to get involved and be active. And, you know, the members come from parades like this one and various other parades that are held throughout this country.
You know what's causing the delays here? They have to allow the traffic on American Legion Highway, because last year we backed it up to Logan Airport, so the state police said every so minutes we're going to have to allow you. That's why we got longer delays this year between the groups.
Right. And if you could hear a little of that drizzling through there, Al, that was Paul Cacciola talking about the traffic delays, which is holding things up a little bit. I guess, you know, it's such a big parade, and the state police don't like to have things tied up too long, so they have to allow for a little bit of the traffic to get through on the different highways around here. So there is a little bit of a delay, but I don't really think anyone minds, because it gives them a chance to maybe get a drink or run across the street.
Or say hello to a friend.
Right, say hello to someone else. So it's really not a problem, but there is a reason for it, and that is it. It's not to tie up traffic, or not to tie up my tongue as it's tied up right now. But at any rate, that's the problem, that's the delay, and like I said, it's really not a problem, because if you were out here, you'd have plenty of time to buy that balloon that your son or daughter is tugging at you to buy, or get a drink, or in our case, maybe rewind a tape or pull a cable around or something like that. Give the cameraman a break, let him clamp down and get a balloon.
And while we have a chance, we should point out who the camera people are today.
Right, we've got a lot of helpers here, a lot of volunteers. We've got Adam Mitchell on the camera and Russ Hannigan directing. We've got a lot of our volunteers from the various training classes at Continental Cablevision are here helping out.
We also have Mark Wright on the mobile camera.
That's right.
The roving cameraman, as we like to call him.
And Joe James is what we call the grip there. He's stringing the cable along behind as you're looking at this shot. He's the man behind, making sure no one trips over the cable. So you have to make sure you remember all these people who
also in our
behind the scenes.
Running errands for us is one of our all-time station volunteers, Warren Richardson.
Right. Al, you can see really the size of this crowd here. We're not exaggerating. These people are out here. They're happy. They're smiling.
Right.
There's enough to go around for everyone.
Based on what we can see from our monitor, it looks like they're 3 deep on the streets.
Oh, maybe more than
maybe
3.
Maybe more than that. But, you know, from our monitor, it looks like they're 3 deep.
The vendors are taking this opportunity to fill the streets themselves and sell a lot of their products. Because when those bands come through, everybody clear the way. some of the bands, Al, as you know and as you saw, have over 100 members.
Yeah.
And with the formations, that takes up a lot of space, and everything's been cleared, and all these streets, really, which are very busy streets, have to be cleared off for a parade and reroute that traffic, and
that's where
so
the credit.
on.
That's where the credit of the Revere Police Department comes in, and a lot of help with a lot of different various organizations in the city to get it done.
Right. We saw the special police doing a lot of escorting, and I think that really was a tremendous showing there of the police, as we mentioned. We remember last year the police were boycotting somewhat, making a statement in the parade, and not many of them marched. And this year you saw them behind the new chief there, really showing support and showing an attempt to, kind of make a comeback and make a good impression in this city.
And speaking of people that we want to thank Jerry and Charlie Foley and Elaine Savatelli, and I think I pronounced that correctly.
Right. Elaine, of course, is from the mayor's office, and the other two were helping organize the bands, and especially that surprise, surprise, famous band coming in Division 5, and they are alumni members of that group, which I don't know. I'm sure everyone's been reading about them, so it's probably not a surprise.
We're not going to give away any secrets. We want the viewers to stay tuned because they are one of the best bands around, and you're really going to enjoy them.
Right, world renowned. And now, I think we see, is that a turtle there we're looking at? I know we've got a gorilla there covered with either his shaving cream or silly string, but he doesn't mind. He probably can't feel it.
No, it's not one of the Ninja Turtles. That's a new character on me, Maureen.
It's
as I'm looking across them.
A gorilla or an ape or
I'm looking at I'm looking at.
He's Chewbacca from Star Wars. I stand corrected.
Adam Mitchell pointed that out to us. Thank you, Adam.
And Al, we can feel the stand moving here as it fills up with people.
We're hoping to get an interview with the mayor, Robert J. Hess, very shortly.
Okay, and we can see some more dancers coming down the way here, and I think they may be from the Agnes Strecker Dance Studio. According to the lists here, you could see them coming down the road. Once again, there's a lot of those characters out in full force, shaking a hand. I see Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah.
Is it Winnie or is it? It is Winnie.
It is Winnie.
Skinny Winnie. It's a skinny Winnie.
And various other characters. That looks like that's Kermit from Sesame Street.
Miss Piggy and Kermit. And the Cookie Monster. I can see in the truck here someone starting their music up for dancers here, and probably a choreographer getting the music ready for the troupe. As I said, Al, the Agnes Strecker Dance Studio from right here in Revere.
These girls are from 10 to 40 years old. They are students of the Agnes Stricker on Beach Street. And most go on to a career in dance.
Right. Not so much for competition, more for a real career, which is actually the way to go, I guess. And they have the graduates to prove just how good they are. This should be a performance from a show called Will Rogers Follies, a number called Favorite Son. Look at the costumes there, Al. I'll tell you. as we said, a lot of those girls go on to careers in dance, and the costumes were beautiful. They brought the chairs out, and it's really nice to see all that talent right here in the city. They were really great.
They were excellent.
All that coordination. And they do a lot of different things. They do gymnastics, hip-hop, and a lot of the different moves, and I think that's what we're seeing here, a lot of that hip-hop style that we see, as well as the more traditional dancing. So there's something for everyone. You might be interested to know too, Al, that Agnes Strecker teaches from you know, just about age 3 to adult. There, they have ballroom, they have adult tap, they have the hip hop you saw there, and you know, just about something for everyone, even a senior tap class. And they're looking for places to perform like this parade. They want to show off the talent that they do have. Okay, and we have got the Revere cheerleaders here coming up.
And Anne-Marie Costa-Ferrullo is their coach and is a Revere High School teacher. There's 3 groups.
I'm sure they've got a routine here for us,
Sure.
Al. And this should be the varsity squad here first. The Revere High School varsity cheerleaders ready to show us their award-winning moves. Those were the days, Al, and you can really see it's really a sport now, cheerleading. It's not just shaking some pom-poms. You have to be gymnasts, you have to be athletes, really.
Right.
And they practice 10 months of the year. These girls practice.
And there are 18 girls on a squad, and recently they were named a superior squad at the UCA cheering camp over the summer, and an award for their dancing and cheering camp as well.
Right. And you can see why when you see them, their moves here. Now you're looking at the JV cheerleaders who cheer for varsity hockey and for JV football and basketball. And they're being groomed to be the award winners of the varsity. That was great, Al. You can just see the sharp, crisp moves. That's all part of it now, the new style of cheering. Everything is very precise, and these girls really have it down pat.
And speaking of champions, they are also sideline. They are sideline camp champs.
Right?
And also we have the RHS Pep Squad of about 50 girls who help out at football games.
Right. And you can see them now getting ready in front of us, the Pep Squad. So as well as the regular cheerleaders, there's a Pep Squad. And that was it, Al. Give me an R, give me an E, give me a V, give me an E, give me an R, give me an E.
Brings back some great days.
And they did, and they spelled out Revere, and they're marching around the corner now, but that was the... Roma Band there from the North End. They're a large group. They're a famous group, Al, and they've really got the spirit there, the patriotic songs.
Well, the Roma Band is one of the favorites here in the city of Revere, and it doesn't have to go beyond that.
You can see the car going by there, Al said, discover reading, read in the Friends of the Revere Public Library.
That's very important to learn how to read, and I know I got a great education and everything like that. Reading is so important.
They have some pretty good friends at City Hall because the Mayor's Walk for Government raised money for books, so I'd say you've got some good friends there. Now you can see, Al, coming up the Commission on Disability. It's new Executive Director Cindy Tadelman waving to the crowd there. And Cindy was just appointed not to replace Steve Rich, the former director, she says, but just to carry on what he started, because she says he is irreplaceable.
That's certainly true. Steve Rich will certainly be missed here in the city of Revere. He did a great job for the disabled.
You can see, Al, coming up here, the Revere Girl Scouts. And we know them from their cookies, but they know that they do a lot for girls, teaching them skills, sending them away to camp, and just doing a lot of things. And they're growing. They're very popular in Revere. You can see by all the numbers here, and it's nice because sometimes you don't realize that if maybe you don't have young daughters or whatever, but the Girl Scouts are really a big group in Revere at all level, at all age groups, and I know they often need volunteers to help with their different activities, and they have some dedicated ones right now, and I'm sure they'd want more. And if you see them selling cookies or you enjoy that, just remember that this is where it goes. These little smiling faces and these people here are the ones who benefit from all that.
They certainly do.
The
and it's great to
Brownies
see
in
them
the
out in
rear.
full force. Here's my favorite group, the Brownies.
And they've got some very artistic sign work here too. Everyone has a banner in front of them, and the girls make that, and the people make that, and you should really take a look at those because they're very well made. Troop after troop of Girl Scouts, and they've got their sweatshirts to kind of single them out and show you who they are and how many of them there are. Girl Scouts and Brownies. We've got all the different troops going by, waving with their leaders. And that's nice, Al, because as well as all the groups from out of the city, you have groups from the city as well, which are groups like these, the Girl Scouts, the Boy Scouts, the veterans groups. So intermingled with all the Revere groups are the groups from other cities. So it's a good chance for everyone to see.
Well, that's actually
Revere.
good because everybody can come together, share some ideas, share some thoughts, say hello to old friends that they haven't seen in a year, and march in the parade together.
And this will be their memory of Revere, which will be a good one, will be
That's
the
right.
parade. Instead of coming here for other reasons, they come here to have a good time.
Yeah.
The car there says Regis Girl Scouts.
And coming into view now is the Boy Scouts. And also Pack 5 of the Cub Scouts.
Were you a Boy Scout, Al?
No, I wasn't. Adam Mitchell says he was.
Informed us he was a Boy Scout. But he's not giving us Scouts honor that he was, so I don't know if I believe him. Okay, I think this would be the Braintree Drum and Bugle Corps. Drum and Bugle Corps are really popular, and I was interested in that when I was calling around, finding out all the different children that participate in bands, and how, as we said earlier, it actually improves their schoolwork because it gives them time management skills, all the practicing they have to do, and they get better grades. and also that they start them young and they start the band training very young. Now we're looking at the Revere Karate Academy. That's Doreen Cogliandro. You're looking at the teacher and owner of the school doing different self-defense moves and not holding back at all there. This is a demonstration, but there is no force being held back, and you can see her level of skill as a black belt there, certainly, and the level she passes on to all her students here in Revere. And they are a very popular group, Al. They just had their Summer Karate Open. They also teach Karobics, which is karate aerobics, at their Revere studio on Broadway. And you can see all levels, all belts, all ages. Very popular group, the Revere Karate Academy.
We see coming into view now is the Revere Little League. And also,
you know about them, Al.
Also St. Mary's Bambino Baseball League. Its president is Walter Koval, who has spent 9 seasons with the organization, 5 as president. He's the only president to be elected to a 5-year term, and St. Mary's Baseball has been recognized as one of the top 10 Babe Ruth programs in the country. The organization also holds 2 state championships in girls softball. There's over 800 athletes who participate in the program, Marie.
And those are the girls we're seeing marching there then, Al, the girls softball league you just mentioned.
And what we're talking about, the division champs, the Rockets.
The Bambino Baseball is what, Al? The youth?
Yes, it is.
Bambino Baseball. Now we've got the Citations Drum and Bugle Corps. Did very well with that, Al.
Thank you.
You are a very well-informed sports enthusiast. I think I like the outfits on these folks here. I don't know about you, Al.
I have no favorites.
You'll stay neutral. You don't have to be neutral today. Revere Youth Hockey, here's your expertise is needed again, Al.
Well, its president is Danny Maniff. We congratulate Danny, who's in his first year as president. The vice president is Tom Mishi. The ice coordinator is Anthony DiGiovanni. They're in their 21st year of youth hockey. This is their 4th year in the parade. Currently, the program has over 400 kids in it, from the Learn to Skate program to the Bantam. And also, they'll be hosting the Canadian Exchange program once again with the city of Chambly outside of Montreal the weekend of November 13th and 14th.
And that's here in Revere?
Yes, it will
at
be.
At the newly renovated Cronin Rink?
Yes, it will be.
They're waving. They love you, Al. Oh, he's blushing.
Mike McPherson, an old and dear friend.
The Revere Youth Hockey, and I can't wait to see the new rink.
Oh, they say it's going to be a beautiful rink, and they want to thank Representative Bill Reinstein, who had an instrument part in that.
See some cool dude hockey players going by there with sunglasses and an attitude. What do you think of that?
I love it.
And now we have coming a train from the Revere Beach Cyclone. And this was brought in by Mr. Mel Williams from Rent-A-Tool, and what it is, it's a 10-car train that was active from 1925 to 1969 in Revere, and it was the most popular of Revere Beach's 4 roller coasters. Just so you know, the 10-car train from the Cyclone roller coaster restored at Rent-A-Tool on North Shore Road, and Mr. Mel Williams really took pride in this roller coaster and said he wanted to preserve that memory for people who aren't familiar with that. If you're not 30, 35, or don't remember the roller coaster days, there it is, thanks to Mel Williams, and he brings it to conventions as far as Pennsylvania, Al.
I know you talked with Mel, and Mel was very instrumental in helping you get some background information about it.
He's a great guy, and he really has a lot of pride in that. Now we're looking at, I believe, is this the Junior Patriot cheerleaders here from before? A little out of sequence, but not out of step and out of energy. In fact, they have
actually, it's
more
the
than
Pop
any of
Warner
us.
football.
Now So if these costumes look familiar to you, don't think it's coming around again. This is the Next Door Theater also doing the number you saw earlier called Favorite Son from the Broadway show Will Rogers Follies. It's a very popular number, obviously, with the chairs. It's a seated number. And this is the Next Door Theater, who are celebrating their 10th anniversary this year. They're very, very talented, and they do have a big review coming up. So watch them, watch their talent, and be prepared to want to see more, and you can. Because they're local.
And we should plug their director, Andrea Butler.
Anniversary season. Next Door Theater this year proudly presents Will Rogers Follies.
You must be the most proud person here today with such a great parade.
First of all, a tremendous day. The weather really, it's great for a parade. And plus with the comeback of the Revere Lancers, absolutely tremendous.
Right.
And as you can see...
You gave it away. That was a surprise. We
Oh,
weren't telling
jeez, we weren't going to tell
yet.
anyone. Cut. Is this live?
Well, now tell us, you must have done a lot of work to secure them for this parade.
Matter of fact, Jerry and Charlie Foley, who basically organized the Lancers, they're very involved with Mr. Bonfiglio in the past.
Right.
They approached us where they knew we always had a Columbus Day parade. They would like to really participate in it. So we got them involved, and really it's their first public appearance since they disbanded a number of years ago. And through Charlie and Jerry's efforts, they secured a lot of other groups that want to participate in this to really show their honor and their commitment to the band system and to be part of the Lancers coming back for the first time.
Is it fair to say this might be Revere's best parade to date?
Well, I hate to compare anything, really. It's a long parade, there's no question. On this one here, we control the cost. We saved a number of dollars compared to prior years. But again, because that's only because of the Lancers, really. People are coming in who normally charge us money in the past, say $1,000, $1,500. They come back with reduced rates.
Right. Well, you had a great success, and we don't want to keep you from seeing any more of the parade, so we thank you for stopping by.
Thank you for telecasting it live. We appreciate it.
And you did a fantastic job. Too bad you couldn't march, but you can see.
Well, hopefully the casting's off tomorrow. That's a good sign, you know. But absolutely, a tremendous day. It's a tremendous day for the citizens and for the people who cannot be here. We want to commend you people for really telecasting for them.
Okay. Well,
thank you, Maureen. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
German Bugle Corps, obviously, at this point, and you know, coming off the heels of talking with Mayor Haas, who was nice enough to stop by and give us an interview there. The Satyrs came right around the bend and picked up the pace of everything. And that is a large, large group you see there. And they do a lot of parades, and very popular, very talented, as you could see.
Again, we can't stress enough how Mayor Robert J. Haas and Paul Caccioli put this parade together. They did a great job, Marie. We got to keep emphasizing that.
And that kind of brought us into Division 4 there, Al. The Satyrs were tagging in the end of Division 3. And sometimes groups move around, they're out of order, or maybe there's a traffic tie-up, or when you have a large group like that, you have to give them a lot of room and time to perform. But you can see now coming down the street is Doreen's School of Dance. And I always like the dancers myself, so I know you might like the Lancers, but I like the dancers. And the mayor did give that away with the Lancers, so now I guess that's not a secret anymore. But
Well, we'd still encourage the viewers to sit back because they are great.
All the more reason to stay tuned. And you're seeing Doreen's School of Dance going by here. They've got the rhythm. That's a dance studio, that's why.
Again, we see them at a very small age to a very well organized group.
Another past group of dancers, we mentioned that they were from, say, age 10 to 40 or something like that. And I don't know if people always want you to know that, but I think that's something to be proud of, so why not? You're never too young or too old.
That's right.
Especially never too old. I can hear music coming around the bend, and I hope it's one of my favorites. Is this the Pied Piper we're waiting for?
It certainly is. That's what we're led to believe.
There he is. He's coming into view. The Pied Piper of marching bands. And you know why that is, Al?
Why is that, Marie?
Because they encourage crowd participation. Mr. Tony Barry wants people to come out and follow him, and they do. And you can see why. He's where the fun is. He is the Pied Piper. He's got the crowd after him. Mr. Tony Barry from Saugus. And they play a lot of the Mickey Mouse tunes, and they call themselves the Crowd Motivators, but they are very professional. A lot of the men now were with the Artie Shaw band, with Tommy Dorsey, the Glenn Miller band. They're professional men, and what happened was years ago they participated in a 4th of July parade and wore funny costumes, and it stuck, and everyone said, come back with those silly costumes, they love you, and they do. And that's how it all came about, that they wear these crazy outfits, but they are professionals, and they also have formal dress and even perform at Wonderland Ballroom as a dance band.
That's right. Tony still plays at Wonderland Ballroom with his dance band and sings as well.
Mm-hmm. He croons. He croons Frank Sinatra tunes. Uniform, Al.
I like that uniform.
The Tony Barry Marching and Concert Band of Saugus. And we told you the story behind the outfits, folks. But they are a military group that have formal Navy dress uniforms as well, and they'll be wearing those on Memorial Day. So that's a treat for them to wear the fun costumes today, for sure. What a guy. One of the ones I tell you, Al, that you meet these interesting people when you find out who's behind all the activities in the parade.
We have interesting jobs because we come in contact with lots of people, and we enjoy talking with these people as we gather a lot of information about these people to tell the viewers at home.
And each group in this parade is a story in and of themselves, without question.
Especially Tony Barry.
Al, I know one of your favorite groups is coming up, and with a little bit of a lull here, you might have time to practice the pronunciation key that I've given you.
Maureen, I'm going to leave that one to you. But before that, we have Tom's Delivery Service coming in. Saved by the Bell.
You lucked out on that one. I guess the next one falls on my shoulders. Tom's Delivery Service, and the sign says, "We bring the restaurant to you." So this is a concept of a delivery service that delivers from restaurants that don't deliver, and they deliver it to you. So you can't lose there. You can sit home and get basically whatever you want delivered because they'll go get it.
I'm getting a kick out of one of the restaurants, My Cousin Vinny's.
Yep, and that's right down on Washington Avenue, My Cousin Vinny's. It's not just a movie, it's a restaurant. Tom's Delivery Service. 2 Revere numbers there. And this is my favorite. These are called the Cycling Murrays. It's a family group. The mother and father, the story is Al, bought the girls a unicycle at a yard sale for $4, and that was years ago. They taught themselves, and now they perform in 40 to 50 parades a year and get paid for it. I believe the oldest girl is about 21, and this is a small business for them. This finances them. What an investment. $4 for the first unicycle. And these 3 sisters perform as a small business on the unicycle.
And we should point out this is their 3rd year in Revere's parade, and they started parading at First Night in Boston in 1988.
Right, and they taught themselves on the streets of Cambridge, where they're from, self-taught on the unicycle, and as we mentioned, it's really become a business for them, almost a career. And that's their mom there riding the 2-wheeled homemade bike. I believe their dad was sick today, so normally you'd see him there. But the 3 girls, I think it's Tegan. Did I have their names there? Tegan, Jana, and Tara. From Cambridge, Massachusetts, the Cycling Murrays, folks.
It's funny
you
how
won't see that very often.
Maureen, sometimes it's funny how businesses get started.
Right. $4 at a yard sale, and you're in business. Okay, I think this is the Saugus Wanapanaquin Twirling Corps, and I said it
very well
because
done.
You didn't want to. No,
I didn't want to do it.
And that's the Indian heritage in Saugus, and that's why they wear the feathers and why the costumes are like that. As the high school teams are the Sachems, and these are the Wanapanaquin Twirling Corps. Little tidbit for you. The Little Feathers, the group is called. That's one for 5 times fast, Al. The Wanapanaquins.
Well, Maureen, that's why I put it in your hands. I know you would pronounce it correctly.
You think I am. Okay, I think we might have the Colonial Marching Band coming down the road. We can hear the music. And it is led by Nunzio Ciccarelli. Chick Ciccarelli, they call him. He's a character, Al. Formerly the Italian Colonial Band of Lawrence. They're a very busy group.
They do the St. Patrick's Day Parade just up the road here in East Boston, and they are heading next to the Veterans Day Parade.
Okay, now, Al, we have a trolley car coming along here, the Beantown Trolley, it says on the side. And And the Bridgewater Brass Band inside.
Coming into view is Operation Crime Watch under their leader Diane Vedetto.
You can see Lieutenant Jerry Chalk there in the passenger seat. He's a driving force in this program, safety enforcement, and then McGruff the crime dog on the Revere Police motorcycle.
And we want to congratulate Operation Crime Watch. They just won an award for Rookie of the Year in a competition for the program's National Night Out. They did this on August 3rd. We congratulate them.
Right, and the Crime Watchers are really a strong force in this city and getting even stronger, Al. And I know they have a McGruff safety program coming up in the schools, so you'll see a lot more of McGruff the crime dog in this city.
Well, it goes
That's
back
for
to their
sure.
leader, Diane Vedetto.
And also with the new community policing grant, I guess, that Revere has received, we'll see more police out there on the streets, more interaction with the people, and that's all part of it. It all kind of wraps together, I guess. The crime watchers and the police, more police on the street. So things are really coming around, Al, and I think from the beginning of the parade, when you saw the police, to that group right there, it kind of makes a full circle of things working correctly, I guess, in the law enforcement area. Okay, and you're seeing, is that Donald Duck or one of his children?
It might be one of his children, Maureen.
I forgot to take that cartoon character 101 in college.
I skipped that class.
Is this the Prospect
Yes, it
Drum
is.
Corps?
They're coming into view right now.
The Prospect Drum Corps. Little baton twirler in the front there, and some red, white, and blue costumes. The Prospect Drum Corps you just saw go by there. You can see some of the baton twirlers as they come down the road, and that is really a skill, I'll tell you, Al.
Also coming into view right now is the Bay State Strutters.
All ages here. You've got to twirl that baton and throw it up in the air and catch it.
A lot of coordination. Again, very colorful outfits.
A lot of red, white, and blue we saw today. A little bit of aqua I saw go by, but mostly I'd say the colors really have been patriotic. I think everyone chose the red, white, and blue. Or, of course, the colors, if they were the Italian colors. The Bay State Strutters, and you know what that means, Al.
Yep.
It means we're in Division 5. Into Division 5, so we've come through 4 divisions, not too much out of order, no mistakes, everything looks good. No dropped batons or anything like that.
And coming into view is the Cooties.
Oh, the Cooties. I gotta get this one right here. Is this Guy Colella, the one and only? And you know, Al, the Cooties are an organization, Veterans of Foreign Wars, but they're the fun part of that organization. And the Cootie is the bug that the soldiers got on them in the trenches when they were fighting. And they came back and they wanted to kind of have some fun with it. And so they made the Cootie the symbol for the organization. And they do a lot of hospital work. And they also do, you know, charity drives and go to the soldiers' homes and whatnot. But it takes a special man to be a Cootie. And Guy Colella is one, and Senator Fran Doris was one in the past. So that's your Cootie history for today. Now we've got the Colonial Pipers here from Boston coming by with the kilts. You just saw them going by there, the Colonial Pipers. Followed by the Kiwanis. And they sponsor the Revere Special Olympics, and that's why they're carrying that banner.
Also a very popular gentleman in the red coat is Manny Ferranti.
That's right. And they also do the Kiwanis Jail Day, which you often see here.
Also Guy Melly coming into view. The Westport High School Marching Band from Westport, Massachusetts.
And we're glad we can be here covering all this, Al. The Westport High School Band stopping in front of the reviewing stand to do their thing for us. You can see the beautiful colored flags, and hope we'll see a little action there.
Coming down now, the Revere Road is made by the woodworking shop at Revere High School. At the school. You know what I mean? That's right. Revere Road. You know, so you in the journal will pick that up.
Okay, that was the Westport High School Band that you just saw there.
You know who the teacher was then, right?
And a little bird that looked like Ron Giannino just told me, looked an awful lot like him, told me that the Revere Rotary float was built by the high school wood shop class, taught by Ron Giannino. Just a bird told me that.
That's all.
And so the kids deserve a lot of credit for that, for building that float for the Revere Rotary in their shop class. So you put youth skills to use and tap the talent of kids like that, Al. And the Revere Rotary is a big group, and their president is John Varengia. And they have a youth group called Interact for kids. Younger members, I should say, not kids.
And also the John F. Kennedy holiday float coming in. I know Representative Bill Reinstein was very instrumental in trying to get a bill passed up at the State House to make John F. Kennedy's birthday a national holiday, and also to get more people out to vote. That's what they wanted to do.
Actually, the election day, I guess the original attempt by the group was to make the birthday, but that was in May, and that just didn't work out. So what they wanted was to make the state election day a holiday in honor of President John F. Kennedy. And they're still working. They lobby for that, and they're our organization that's getting stronger, I guess, but right now the bill's just being studied. Beautiful costumes here, Al. Beautiful flags. You can see the bright pink and the aqua costumes with the silver. Just beautiful there. Okay, and you just saw the East Bridgewater High School band there going by. And now you're looking at Miss Massachusetts, 1993-94, Miss Ellen Marie Fitzgerald. You may have seen her on TV recently in the Miss America pageant. And she gets the luxury of riding in a nice car there, Al.
Well, she's earned the title, so she deserves a nice car to ride in.
She had a nice story behind her too. I guess she had been a teenage runaway in younger years and turned her life around and succeeded and achieved her dream of being Miss Massachusetts.
You know,
So
to get
that's a
serious
nice
for a
story.
second, that is a nice story. It just goes to show you that you can turn your life around and you can make something of yourself,
Right, so she's an
as
inspiration.
Miss Massachusetts just showed.
And I believe followed by the Loyal Order of the Moose, the Men of the Moose. And at telethons, we may see them as Moose Men in Motion, but there you see them as the Loyal Order of the Moose.
We're waiting on one more drum and bugle corps.
Right, American Legion Post 61 just had some members go by in a car there, not to miss them or the Revere Lions. If they sneak by and we're gabbing away here, we want to make sure we mention them. We've just been informed that the Lancers are coming around the corner, so people are stepping out into the street, looking down the street, and just anticipating this mighty band that will be coming. And I hear they should be about 300 members strong, so it is a huge group, really. And everyone's really proud of securing them for Revere this year.
To the viewers at home that have never heard this group, they are in for a real treat.
Now they're returning to Revere after almost a 27-year absence, I guess. You could almost call it their anniversary. They first played in Revere in a parade in 1967. They've played in Super Bowls and at the Olympics in Lake Placid. They were the opening drum corps. That was in the 1980s. So how many bands do you know that can say that? That's quite an honor. And Paul Cacciola, the mayor's assistant, and the mayor are very proud of bringing them here, calling them the best drum corps in the country.
And coming into view is one of Revere's favorite, Representative Bill Reinstein.
Oh, leading the Lancers, but not playing an instrument. He's playing the crowd.
Yeah, he does that well, doesn't he?
Oh, here they are, ladies and gentlemen. The Lancers, world famous drum and bugle corps. And you'll hear why in just a moment.
And before they get to the music, we just want to point out that Jerry Foley is an alumnus of that group who was instrumental in getting this parade put together here.
Oh, instrumental was the word to use, Al.
a treat? Boy, did they get a treat.
That's the band we were talking about with the mayor earlier and that we alluded to in the very beginning of this parade. Played at the Lake Placid Olympic Games. You can see the concentration on the faces. They take this very seriously, and it shows in their music, in their performance. 27th Lancer Alumni Drum and Bugle Corps.
Paul Cacciola certainly was right, calling them the best drum and bugle corps.
You heard Danny Boy there, the song they played at the beginning, and that was a real crowd pleaser, Al. Everyone is just thrilled by that, and you can see that look at the numbers, look at the formation as they go around the corner. About 300 of them, and that's quite a sight with the white and black and the flags above them. You know something special is coming. Now you can see the trucks here from the City of Revere DPW, freshly painted trucks there with the logo on the side, Revere Pride. And these are the new recycling trucks that actually compact the trash in the back and do the work of bigger, larger, messier dump trucks and the trash compactors, and they do it in this neat little unit that you just saw go by there.
And John Barrett is very proud of them.
That's right, Al, he is.
Happy Columbus Day to my colleagues.
Okay.
Al, wonderful job. Well, Maureen and Al, they're part of it.
Being wished a happy Columbus Day here by some of the politicians up on the reviewing stand, and there are a lot of them. Sometimes we think we'll tip over up here because everyone's leaning to one side, but that never happens. It never does happen, and we're thankful for that. But we have Christopher Columbus up here, stuck it through till the end. And we know when we see the Revere fire trucks, it will be over. Okay.
Well, it appears that the fire trucks could not make it into the parade this year. Maureen.
Oh, Al, don't be a pessimist. I know they're coming.
Well, this is over, right? I hope.
That about wrapped it up with the Lancers there. You can see the tail end stragglers here. Everyone's saying goodbye, saying Happy Columbus Day. We've got the street vendors and trying to sell the last few balloons. And we're waiting for that big fire truck to come zooming down the street with the sirens flashing. And it looks like all we're going to see is traffic for now. So we waited for that fire truck, but it didn't come. So that wraps up the 1993 Columbus Day Parade in Revere. On behalf of myself, Maureen Hayes, my co-host here, Al DiTullio, and the whole crew of Continental, we thank you for being with us, and we wish you all a happy Columbus Day. Al, I'm putting you on the spot again. What was your favorite attraction?
I'm going to go on record as saying they were all my favorites. This way, I can't lose.
He's neutral till the end. So once again, happy Columbus Day, everyone, and thanks for being with us.
Take care.